All right, check this out. If you're in the last mile delivery industry, we have created something that's just for you. We've called it the Last2First Huddle, or the L2F Huddle. We can come into an ecosystem or community built for the last mile, by the last mile. Now, you'll be able to get access to educational courses, right? Playbooks, as I call them. We build playbooks teaching you everything from A to Z in the last mile industry. Everything from how to set your right driver model, to how to navigate misclassification issues, to how to find customers, how to price that work, how to operate it, all the way through to if you want to buy a company, how do you value those businesses. We also have an AI tool called Ask Miles. Miles will answer any how-to question about the industry. I've personally trained it myself. It's pretty damn good. And then also, we're about community. So you're going to access coaches, experts. We have film studies or weekly calls. You'll be able to deep dive into workshops. Look, this is the place to be if you're in the last mile industry. L2Fhuddle.com. I'll see you inside. It's time to huddle up. Let's do it.
We're eliminating the term manager in our organization because we don't want them managed. We want them mentored.
Wow, that's powerful.
They need to learn. They need to feel part of the team. But we don't tell them what to do. Maybe that's how you program a robot. That's not how you deal with people.
Yeah. As you were talking, you mentioned the word, I was thinking about robots and AI and technology. On my way in today, I'm land at the airport, and I see literally 7 Waymos pull in at the airport in maybe a minute.
Right.
And, I live in Austin, Texas, so I've seen Waymos, mostly downtown. They're kind of restricted there, but I was like, man, this thing is here.
Right.
I got into the Lyft. I got a Lyft driver. And the first question I asked this lady on camera, maybe it'll come out by now when this comes out, but I asked her, how do you feel about your competition? And I just pointed at the Waymo. And she says, they way more expensive. They way more this, they way more that. She was kind of making fun of it, like it's not as good. But the point she at the end of, she said, we talked maybe 10 minutes riding over here, and she said, you would have never had this conversation had you been in a Waymo. And that's
interesting.
That's still to something because there's a human aspect of that. Now sometimes you get in these ride share, you don't want to talk to anybody, but the human aspect of what we do. That's part of what I'm doing with this podcast, try to humanize the last mile, the first mile, the middle mile, whatever you want to call it. Because it's so critically important to our economy, but also just people. The people part of this is what you're hitting on right now. Like, you cannot program a person. You have to develop them.
Well, I think the important thing is, I think sometimes some companies get caught up in what the asset is. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that assets are the tangible things, the buildings, the trucks. Mm-hmm. The most important asset in our company are the people. Mm-hmm. That's the asset. You can replace trucks. Trucks are inanimate objects. Assets are the people, and you have to do preventative maintenance. You have to be proactive. Mm-hmm. You have to help nurture, and that's the way you keep people on the road and happy and engaged and feeling like they have a purpose.
Yeah. Go back to 2009. I know we did talk offline, and there was a challenging year for you there with the economy. Right. I was
very
frame it up,
challenging.
But go for it. Because I want to understand how you overcame that dynamic.
2009 was the biggest freight downturn in our history, and as a result, we lost 40 to 45% of our revenue. Wow. And in a company where you make 5 to 8%, we're going to go under. Mm-hmm. We buckled down. We were fortunate enough that I was talking to my mentor in the business, and he was ready to retire. Mm-hmm. So we absorbed his business. 30 days later, we absorbed another trucking company, which made us 6x of what we were 31 days earlier.
Wait, when you say absorb, you buy them?
They were closing down. They had
they moved the customers to you.
We just moved the customers. They just did a sort of soft closing.
Okay.
And so we doubled our business with the first acquisition, and then a month later we doubled it again. So maybe that's 4x.
Yeah.
And as a result, we had to get down in the thick of it. I'm dispatching. I'm doing everything I could. I went to my vendors. I said, hey, listen, we're in tough times. Can we extend our terms? We will pay you. But we went out and were proactive. We weren't letting a bill sit and waiting for someone to call us. We were calling and saying our landlord at the time said, hey, you can go 2 months. And we had the opportunity because we were communicating, because we had relationships. And fortunately, we'd already been in business for almost 10 years. So we had relationships. We were on time. We were doing what we did. But it was certainly scary, but it was a time to just dig in and do the work.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we didn't lay anyone off. People left. People went to other places, but we were growing almost instantly.